Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take a whole stack of fascinating sources, pull out the key insights, and basically give you a shortcut to being, well, really clued in. Today, we are jumping headfirst into the world of Santiago Rosa's The Secret of Avenfore. Now, yeah, it's fiction, but honestly, it's packed with stuff that feels so real, ancient secrets, mysteries unfolding. It really draws you in.
Absolutely. And what's great about it, I think, is how it blends this classic coming-of-age story with this much bigger mystery. You're seeing it all through the eyes of William Halbler, this young kid whose own journey gets tangled up with these centuries-old secrets. It's definitely not just a story about starting a new school. It's more like stepping into a hidden world.
Okay, right. So let's unpack it. Our mission today, just so you know, isn't to spoil every single plot twist. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to walk you through the main story, focus on the really intriguing bits, the themes Ross is playing with, and hopefully leave you feeling like you've been on the adventure, but, still hungry for more, like a guided tour of William's world opening up. So the story kicks off in July 1959. We meet William Halbler. He's 14. He's on a train, leaving Dublin, heading to a place called Avenfore. He's going to start at St. Elm's Boys' School, which is pretty prestigious. And interestingly, Avenfore is where his dad, Arnold, grew up. It's his dad's old school, too. So there are echoes of the past right from the start.
Yeah, and even before he gets on that train, there's this layer of mystery dropped in. His dad, Arnold, who William sees as, really brave, confident, he slips William this hidden letter. And the instruction is weirdly specific, almost kind of urgent. Get this to an Abelard Gree-Wolf in Avenfore and make absolutely sure nobody sees you do it.
Ooh, okay.
Right. So it's not just deliver this note for me. It immediately sets this tone. Hidden stuff, secrets. William's world is about to get way more complicated.
So William gets to Drunfarnham near Avenfore, and his Uncle Walter and Edna, cousin Elsie, meet him. It's all very loud and cheerful, family welcome. But then this odd figure shows up, a guy on a motorbike, dark glasses, old-fashioned helmet. And William gets this creepy feeling, like the guy is just watching them. And it gets worse because he sees the same motorcyclist again later on the road to Avenfore. It's subtle, but it really cranks up that feeling of unease about this new place.
And that unease, it kind of makes sense when you learn a bit more about the family history there. His parents moved away to Dublin, right? But his dad, Arnold, kept coming back to Avenfore regularly. He went to meetings of something called the Nightbird Society, supposedly a local bird-watching club meeting at Ravenwood Castle.
Okay, sounds innocent enough.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. His dad always went alone. Always. That detail isn't just random. It signals straight away that there are hidden lives, things William doesn't know about his own family, tied to this place.
Right. So he gets to Avenfore, and he needs friends, obviously. He clicks pretty quickly with Elsie's brother, Chris the sporty one, and Chris's sister, Bridget. And these friendships become super important, kind of like a support team as things start getting weirder.
They really do, and they get tested almost immediately. One of the first things they do is sort of nervously sneak around the grounds of St. Elm's, William's new school. And while they're there, they catch this glimpse, just a flicker, of someone watching them from a second-floor window.
Creepy.
Yeah. Who was it? Why were they watching these kids? It just reinforces this idea that every corner in Avenfore might be hiding something, or someone.
Okay, so here's where things really start moving. Chris knows the area, right? He takes them on what he calls a secret path that leads towards Lake Drunfarnham. And this path goes right past Ravenwood Castle. It's this huge, amazing-looking castle, but it seems totally abandoned. And it's owned by this guy, Byron Mulween, who's known for being really gloomy.
The castle itself just looms there, magnificent but neglected. It definitely adds to the whole mysterious vibe of the place. It feels like it's holding secrets.
And the Lake Drunfarnham, has this really weird feature, Lessearn Island.
Ah, yes, the island you can walk to.
Exactly. There's this underwater ridge, a spit of land. So when you walk across it, it looks like you're walking on water.
Which is amazing in itself, but then you learn it's kind of tied up in old legends about the Knights Templar. It hints at this much deeper, almost mystical history layered just beneath the surface of this small Irish town. Really clever world building.
Then comes this big moment down by the lake. William, Chris, and Bridget actually see Byron Mulween, the castle owner, and his caretaker, Ernest Wiglin. And they're carrying this big, heavy sack into the castle cellar. And the sack, it has these dark red stains on it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would look incredibly suspicious. Your mind immediately goes to the worst possible scenario, right? Blood, maybe.
Totally. It sets off all the alarm bells for the kids. Very sinister.
But, and this is quite clever, I think, the author uses this image as a bit of a red herring, a misdirection. Because later on, it turns out it was all a misunderstanding. The sack just had potatoes in it from Mr. Greewoof's garden, apparently, and the stains were just red paint.
Potatoes. Seriously.
Serious. But it's important because it teaches William and us, reading along, that things in this world, in Avenfore, are often not what they seem. You can't trust your first impressions. Keeps you guessing.
Okay, so let's talk about Abelard Greewolf, the guy William needs to deliver the secret letter to. He's the Latin master at St. Elm's.
Right. And he's not just any teacher. He used to be friends with Byron Mulveen's father. He's a scholar, studied book restoration in Spain, even worked in the Vatican. So clearly this guy knows things. He's more than just a Latin teacher.
And he becomes really key for William.
Absolutely. The big meeting happens at Mr. Greewoof's house. William's looking through a telescope Greewolf has.
And he sees him again, the motorcyclist.
Kingo! He spots the mystery motorcyclist. And that's when Mr. Greewolf drops the bombshell. He tells William who the guy is. Gregor Wattengrow, a German former SS member apparently, now deals in antiques. But the real kicker, he's an agent working for someone very dangerous.
Whoa, okay. SS, that's heavy.
It is, and even more worrying, Gregor Wattengrow is actually staying at Ravenwood Castle. It brings the danger right to William's doorstep, intertwining everything.
So Greewolf warns William straight up.
Immediately. Tells him, look, this Gregor guy is bad news. Be incredibly careful, avoid him, don't engage. And then he says something cryptic about the letter William delivered from his father. Says it's going to change many things for William. Really ups the stakes.
And Greewolf gives him something too, right?
He does. He gives William this old, battered, leather-bound book. It's called The Book of the Knights Templar Errant. Greewolf explains it's a genuine Templar artifact. Part of an ancient mission was to keep books like this safe from, well, persecutors. It directly connects William's situation now to this huge historical saga of the Knights Templar coming to Ireland.
So William's suddenly holding this piece of history. What does he do? Does he just hide?
Nope. And this shows how he's already changing. He doesn't just panic. He comes up with a plan, with Chris's help, to actually try and outsmart Gregor Wattengrow. They decide to sabotage his motorcycle. It's pretty brave, kind of ingenious for a kid. Shows he's not just going to be a pawn in all this. He's starting to act.
Okay. And while this is going on, there's someone else at Ravenwood Castle.
Yes, Amaranta Bunclane. William meets her there. She's described as beautiful, lives there with her uncle, who turns out to be Ernest Wigland, the caretaker.
Ah, the guy with the potato sack.
The very same. And Amaranta is a talented piano player. She adds another layer of mystery, maybe a touch of romance, to this gloomy castle setting.
So things are getting complicated. Secret letters, former SS agents, Templar books. What's the bigger picture here?
The bigger picture starts to emerge when William learns about this secret society, this noble order. Turns out his own father and Mr. Greewolf are members, deeply involved. And this order has been on this centuries-long mission to find that lost book, the Book of the Knights Templar Errant. It's like this incredibly precious legacy they're trying to recover.
So that's why the book is so important. And Gregor wants it too, or the person he works for.
Exactly. And the person Gregor works for is the Order's main enemy, Ignatius Nosmorum. They call him the Wicked Crow. He sounds terrifying. Apparently he has this signature patchouli perfume smell, and he carries a cane that's actually a weapon. It sprays some kind of venomous mist.
Yikes. Okay, proper villain territory.
Definitely. And then comes another shock for William. He finds out his own dad, Arnold, somehow played a part in this book being discovered way back, which is what accidentally drew Ignatius's attention to it in the first place.
So his dad is mixed up in the danger too.
Deeply. And even more personally for William, it turns out Ignatius actually tried to kidnap William when he was just a little kid. William had no idea, was blissfully ignorant, as the book says. And guess who saved him back then?
Let me guess. Ernest Wigland, the caretaker.
You got it. Ernest Wigland, the quiet caretaker, foiled the kidnapping attempt. Shows he's much more than he seems.
Wow. Okay, so Wigland is definitely on the good side then. What about Gregor Wattengrow, the motorcyclist?
Well, Gregor was sent by Ignatius specifically to track William down this time, but his mission failed. He was actually captured by Ernest Wigland. Remember the mysterious sack Mulveen and Wigland were carrying?
The potatoes.
It wasn't potatoes. It was Gregor. They'd subdued him and were moving him. It's a great twist, connects everything back, and shows Wigland is seriously capable.
Okay, so this order, they meet up.
They do. They have an annual meeting for the Order of the Alliance, that's its real name, at Ravenwood Castle, but they disguise it cleverly. They pretend it's just the annual general meeting of the Nightbird Society, the birdwatching club. Perfect cover.
Good Mart.
And at one of these meetings, William and Amaranta are formally brought into the fold. They're invested as knight postulants. They even have to recite this ancient oath in Latin. It's a huge step for them officially joining the secret world.
Knight postulants. Sounds serious.
Yeah.
And the book they recovered, what's the big deal about it? Apart from being old Templar stuff.
Well, the book isn't just a historical artifact. It apparently hides a massive secret, including, wait for it, the location of the Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail. Seriously.
That's what the book suggests. So finding it, protecting it, that's why it's absolutely crucial for the Order. The stakes are suddenly, like, legendary.
Okay, wow. So William's life has completely changed. What about Amaranta? Is she just along for the ride?
Not at all. She becomes central, too. She shares this really personal secret with William about her own past, reveals she was adopted, left as a baby right there at Ravenwood Castle.
Oh, poor girl.
Yeah, and William, showing how much he's grown, promises he'll help her find out who her real parents are. It deepens their bond, gives them another shared quest beyond the Order's main mission.
So they have the Order, Ignatius Nosmorum, chasing them. Where does he operate from?
They suspect he's setting up shop at this place called the Hannah Fairground. It's this old, abandoned fairground near Drinfarnham. Ignatius has bought it. And it has this really dark history, too. Apparently, years ago, a member of the Order, Jerome C. Kaplan, died there in a horrible accident. Or rather, it's implied Ignatius actually murdered him there.
Grim place. Anyone else involved?
Well, interestingly, Madame Ophelia, the fortune teller from the fairground's past, turns out to be someone trusted by the Order, an ally in an unexpected place.
Okay. And there's a librarian, too, Veronica Agavals.
Yes. And William has this really weird conversation with her. She starts asking all these slightly probing questions about his mother. It just feels off. It definitely makes you, the reader, suspicious. Like, what's her angle? Is she just curious? Or is there something more going on with her? Her questions seem a bit too pointed.
Right. Another potential threat, maybe. So with Ignatius potentially at the fairground, do the kids investigate?
Of course they do. William, Chris, and Amaranta decide they can't just wait around. They go rogue, basically. Head off on this unauthorized mission to check out the Hannah Fairground themselves. Risky move.
I bet. What do they find?
Well, first off, they smell it. That signature patchouli perfume of Ignatius Nosmorum confirms he's been there recently. The danger is real.
And then they find his lair.
They do. They find this place inside called the Crow Chamber. It's Ignatius's secret spot. And it's super creepy, filled with weird, grotesque objects, a big throne-like chair, and cages. Cages full of crows that are clearly agitated. They figure out it's like a living alarm system. If anyone disturbs them, the crows go nuts.
Clever, but also terrifying. Do they get caught?
They almost do. They accidentally trigger the crows. Chaos erupts, crows flying everywhere, noise. It's a mad scramble to get out. And who shows up to help them escape?
Let me guess. Ernest Wigland.
Ernest Wigland, again, he gets them out of there safely. He really is their guardian angel, albeit a very quiet and surprisingly tough one.
Okay, things are escalating. What happens next? Ignatius must know they're on to him.
It seems like it. Because suddenly, Byron Mulween and Amaranta announce they're taking a trip to London. Very sudden, very suspicious. And then Veronica Agavals, the librarian, also heads to London shortly after.
A suspicious librarian.
Exactly. The Order puts two and two together. This has to be a trap. Set by Ignatius, probably using Veronica somehow, with Amaranta as the target.
So they need to intervene.
Right. William and Chris get sent to London immediately. The cover story. They're going to an ornithology exhibition, keeping up the Nightbird Society pretense. But their real mission is urgent. Find Veronica, confirm she's involved, and most importantly, protect Amaranta.
Where does it all go down?
The big confrontation happens at, of all places, the Royal Opera House. Very dramatic setting. William is standing the audience, the boxes, and he sees him, Ignatius Nosmorum, in the same box as Veronica Agavals.
Oh no, and Amaranta.
She's likely heading towards that box, or already there. William realizes she's in immediate danger. He has to do something right now.
Does he wait for backup? For Wigland?
No time. He makes this incredibly brave, maybe reckless, split-second decision. He acts alone. He literally runs to help Amaranta, confronts Ignatius face-to-face. There's a struggle. In the chaos, Ignatius drops something, this mysterious black ring. William manages to grab it before making his escape.
He got away. with the ring.
Yes, but only because Ernest Wiglin arrives just in time again. Wiglin plays a key part in getting Amaranta out of there and helping William escape. That caretaker is everywhere when needed.
Wow, what an ordeal. How does Amaranta handle finding out about her adoption, especially with all this danger swirling around?
It hits her hard, understandably. Back in Avenfore, she's very emotional. And Mr. Grewolf, seeing her distress, feels terrible. He admits he regrets keeping her past secret for so long. He actually tells William, "You were right. We should have told her sooner." It's a moment that shows the human cost of all these secrets, even for the good guys. And it shows William's growing maturity, his judgment being recognized.
And the book. The Book of the Knights Templar Errant. Did they lose it in London?
The triumphant news. Amidst all this chaos, the book, the one holding the secret to the Holy Grail's location, is successfully recovered. And its recovery is directly credited to the actions of William, Amaranta, and Chris. Their combined bravery and resourcefulness made it happen. A huge win for the Order.
That's amazing for them. So after all that, what happens to the three kids? They can't just go back to being ordinary students, surely.
Absolutely not. Their journey reaches this incredible peak. William, Amaranta, and Chris, teenagers, remember, are formally elevated. They become full knights of the Order of the Alliance. The ceremony happens on Lessiern Island, that mystical place in the lake. It's described as completely unprecedented for people so young, but it's recognition of their courage, their wisdom, everything they've been through and achieved.
Full knights. Wow.
Yeah, and for William especially, his transformation is complete. His life is changed forever, as the book says. He's found this new identity, William the Kingfisher. He is no longer just a schoolboy. He has this profound sense of purpose, ready for whatever adventures come next with the Order.
What a story. Seriously, from just a kid going to a new school to becoming a knight in a secret order, dealing with villains and ancient secrets in the Holy Grail. It's quite the transformation.
It really is, and it makes you think, doesn't it, how his willingness to just lean into the weirdness, to ask questions, to not just accept things at face value. That's what led him down this path. He didn't just uncover family secrets. He found this huge historical responsibility and his place within it. It does make you wonder, how often do we maybe sidestep the confusing stuff, the uncomfortable questions in our own lives, the things that might actually lead to something significant?
That's a really good point. So for you listening, what's the takeaway? Maybe it's just a reminder that sometimes the biggest adventures, the most important truths about who we are or what we can do, they aren't always obvious. They might be hidden just under the surface of everyday life, waiting for us to be curious enough or maybe brave enough to just dig a little deeper. Don't be afraid of that secret path.
Exactly. Think about William finding his place, his belonging in this ancient order. It came through facing challenges, through perseverance. Maybe your own sense of purpose or belonging is wading down a path that looks a little daunting at first.
Food for thought, definitely. Well, that's our deep dive into the Secret of Avenfore. What an adventure. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you'll come back next time for another journey into knowledge right here on The Deep Dive.